Plymouth gunman who killed most of his 5 victims at random. 5-year-old girl is among the dead after black-clad suspect went on rampage with long-barreled gun in a house and at park before killing himself. The gunman who murdered 5 people in Plymouth before turning his gun on himself has been named by locals as Jake Davison, with a 5-year-old girl feared to be among his victims. Several witnesses reported that apprentice crane operator Davison, 23, had carried out the attack which left a girl of 5 among those killed. He is said to have shot members of his own family before taking to the streets and opening fire on strangers. His rampage left the girl, 2 women, and 2 men dead, with the majority of his victims not believed to be known to him. 2 dog walkers were among those shot. Witnesses have described seeing the gunman dressed in black and gray and kicking down the door of a semi-detached house and opening fire in the Keyham area of the city just after 6 p.m. yesterday. He was carrying a long-barreled gun and was seen fleeing to the rear of the property and into a park, where he allegedly ran into the 2 dog walkers and opened fire. The area of the naval port city where the killings took place was put in lockdown as emergency response teams raced to the scene. Local MPs urged residents to remain calm and stay indoors as they awaited more information, adding that it was a grim day for our city and our community. The incident, the first in Britain involving an active shooter for 11 years, was so serious that Home Secretary Priti Patel was given regular updates. Security sources said it was not being treated as a terror incident. Sharon Turner, 57, who lives behind the scene of the shooting, said that a gunman had kicked in the front door of a semi-detached house before shooting a young mother and her daughter, who was aged about 5. "We heard a number of loud bangs which I said sounded like gunshots," Ms. Turner told The Times. "Then he ran into the park and there were further shots. I heard someone say he had shot his brother." After the attack, the gunman escaped through a park behind the house in Northdown Crescent and shot 2 dog walkers, she claimed. A second witness wrote, "I've just had to emergency drive out of my house. There's someone on the rampage in my cul-de-sac with a real gun and he's already shot 2 people. They are laying on the ground. One is dead, blood everywhere. I'm shaking like a leaf." Robert Pinkerton, 54, told the BBC he had bumped into a bloke with a shotgun after he heard a loud bang. Mr. Pinkerton then saw an injured woman in the doorway of a hairdresser's and witnessed a man trying to give her medical attention. While local resident Michelle Abdullah wrote said, "Sad day, a man shot his whole family then went on a random shootout. Police right outside my house. 3 air ambulances at the park out my back garden." Last night a video posted on social media showed a body covered in a sheet lying on a pavement as an armed policeman stood close by. One witness told Mail Online, "I was at my mate's house after going to the gym. We were in his kitchen making some sandwiches and suddenly we heard shouting followed by screaming. We really thought nothing of it as the area can be noisy sometimes. We soon after heard what we thought was a firework going off, so then walked towards the front of the house. We then saw the body of the gunman and called 999. And resident, John, said, "I heard the air ambulance helicopters, and 2 of them landed in the playing field behind us. Then we could hear police cars screeching and we saw armed response officers running up the hill, carrying guns. And loads of ambulances arrived. I went out to check that people were all right and to ask if there was anything we could do. And the police community support officers told everyone to get back indoors. Then we saw the ambulances take people away. It all seemed to be happening at the man's family home, I think. People are saying that the man has killed himself. He's only a young guy, late teens or early 20s. Last night, armed police, the Hazardous Area Response Unit, HART, National Police Air Service, and around 3 air ambulances raced to the scene of the serious and tragic incident following reports of loud bangs and gunshots just after 6 p.m. In the aftermath of the attack, Johnny Mercer, The Conservative MP for Plymouth Moorview sought to reassure his constituents on Twitter, saying the incident was not terror-related and the suspect involved was not on the run. As the scenes continue to unfold, local Labour MP Luke Pollard also tweeted, "Really worrying news coming out of Keyham in Plymouth. Please can everyone stay safe, stay indoors and follow police advice." He added, "Awaiting confirmation of number of victims, but this looks like a very grim day for our city and our community. Please can I ask that you think of the families and our community and not share any images or videos of any of the victims. Keyham." And Home Secretary Priti Patel said, "The incident in Plymouth is shocking and my thoughts are with those affected. I have spoken to the Chief Constable and offered my full support. I urge everyone to remain calm, follow police advice and allow our emergency services to get on with their jobs." Meanwhile, Labour leader Keir Starmer said, "There's much we don't know about the shocking events in Plymouth. However, it's clear tragedy has hit Keyham. My thoughts are with the families and neighbours of those caught up in this nightmare. I pay tribute to our emergency services who ran towards events we'd all run from." Elsewhere, Shadow Home Secretary Nick Thomas Simmons tweeted, "Truly terrible news. Thinking of the families and friends of those who have died and those injured. Thank you to our remarkable emergency services. I've been in contact with local representatives to express my support for the whole community of Plymouth on this awful evening." And Plymouth Argyle FC tweeted, "Our hearts go out to victims of tonight's tragic incident in our city, alongside their families, friends, and the wider Plymouth community." Tonight, London Mayor Sadiq Khan wrote, "Deeply saddened by the loss of life in Plymouth this evening. My thoughts and prayers are with all those affected and the emergency service workers responding to this tragic incident." Elsewhere, Alison Hernandez, Police and Crime Commissioner for the area, said, "Aware of tonight's tragic incident in Plymouth. Thank you to Devon and Cornwall Police for dealing with this situation. Thoughts with those directly affected and the city of Plymouth tonight." Devon and Cornwall Police said, police were called to a serious firearms incident in Biddick Drive, in the Keyham area of Plymouth at around 6:10 p.m. today, Thursday 12th of August. Officers and ambulance staff attended the scene. Following attendance at the scene, 2 females and 2 males were deceased at the scene. A further male, believed to be the offender, was also deceased at the scene. All are believed to have died from gunshot wounds. Another female treated at the scene for gunshot wounds, died a short time later in hospital. All of the next of kin of the deceased have been located and informed by Devon and Cornwall police officers. Devon and Cornwall Police would stress this is not a terrorism-related incident. The area has been cordoned off and police are not looking for anyone else in connection with the incident. Investigations are continuing into the incident and disruption to the road network in the Keyham will remain throughout the night. Police continue to ask any members of the public with mobile phone footage of the immediate aftermath of the incident not to post this on social media platforms and to respect those families who have lost loved ones this evening. Earlier today, a Southwestern Ambulance Service spokesman said, "We were called at 6:12 p.m. to an ongoing incident in Plymouth. We responded to the incident with a significant number of resources, including hazardous area response teams, HART, multiple ambulances, air ambulances, multiple doctors and senior paramedics. We will provide an update here in due course." A nearby school sports center has been closed down and people are being told to stay indoors by police. Cordons have also been put in place around a block of flats to prevent pedestrians accessing the area. And Drake Circus Shopping Center in Plymouth has also been evacuated as a precaution. The last active shooter incident was the Cumbria shootings on June 2, 2010, when taxi driver Derek Bird went on the rampage in Whitehaven and the surrounding countryside, killing 12 people and injuring 11. Other mass killings in the UK since then have involved explosives or knife attacks then have involved